welcome back to our channel where we explore the fascinating world of science. Today we are diving into grade 12 biology unit 2 microorganisms. Microorganisms are tiny organisms that have a huge impact on our lives, from the food we eat to the air we breathe. Microorganisms are everywhere and they are more important than you might think. So let's get started. Microorganisms or microbes are organisms too small to be seen with the naked eye. We need microscopes to study them, and this field is called microscopy. But don't let their size fool you. These teeny life forms play a massive role in keeping our planet alive. They are involved in nutrient cycling, breaking down organic matter, and recycling nutrients. They help produce foods like bread, cheese, and yogurt. They are even used in medicine to create antibiotics, vaccines. Plus, they are superheroes in environmental cleanup and biotechnology. There are 5 main types of microorganisms. Number 1, bacteria. Number 2, archaea. Number 3, fungi. Number 4, protozoa. Number 5, viruses. So, bacteria are single-cell prokaryotes, whereas archaea are similar to bacteria but thrive in extreme environments. Fungi are like molds, yeasts, and mushrooms, whereas protozoans are single-celled eukaryotes. Viruses are acellular particles that need a host to reproduce. Each of these has unique characteristics and roles, which we will explore in detail. Let's start with Eubacteria, also known as true bacteria. These are prokaryotic, meaning they don't have a nucleus or membrane-bound organelles. And the bacteria come in different shapes. Cocci, spherical shape. Bacillia, root-shaped. Spirella, spiral-shaped. And they can also be arranged in pairs, chains, or clusters. For example, Diplococci, which have pairs of cocci, Streptococci, which have chains of cocci, Staphylococci, which have clusters of cocci. One key way to classify bacteria is through gram staining, which tells us about their cell wall structure. Gram-positive bacteria have a thick peptoglycan layer, whereas gram-negative bacteria have a thinner one. So, bacteria are also diverse in how they get their nutrients. Some are autotrophs, making their own food using sunlight or chemicals, whereas others are heterotrophs, relying on organic matter. And when it comes to reproduction, bacteria mostly use binary fission, splitting into two identical cells, but they can also exchange genetic material in a process similar to sexual reproduction. Next up are bacteria, the Extremophiles. These prokaryotic microorganisms thrive in places most life forms cannot, like hot springs, salty lakes, and anaerobic environments. Unlike bacteria, archaea have unique membrane lipids and lack through peptoglycan in their cell walls. They are also super useful in biotechnology and molecular biology. For example, the enzyme Taq polymerase used in PCR comes from a thermophilic archaean called Thermus aquaticus. Now let's talk about fungi, the kingdom that includes molds, yeasts, and mushrooms. Fungi are eukaryotic, meaning they have a nucleus and membrane-bound organelles. They are heterotrophic, absorbing nutrients from their environment, and they reproduce using spores. Their bodies are made of a trail-like structure called hyphae, which form a network called mycelia. Fungi play crucial roles as decomposers, parasites, and mutualists. They are also economically important. Think edible mushrooms, fermentation for bread and beer, and antibiotics like penicillin. Next, we have protozoa, single-celled eukaryotes that are super diverse. They move using flagella, cilia, or pseudopodia, and they are heterotrophic, meaning they feed on other organisms. Protozoa play important ecological role as decomposers, breaking down organic matter, and as food sources for other organisms. However, some protozoa are parasites causing diseases like malaria and amoebic dysentery. Now let's talk about viruses, the ultimate hijackers. Viruses are acellular particles that need a host cell to reproduce. They consist of genetic material or DNA or RNA surrounded by a protein coat called a capsid, and some have an additional envelope. Viruses replicate by hijacking the host cell's machinery. They can follow two life cycles. The first one is lytic cycle, which refers to the virus replicates rapidly and destroying the host cell. Whereas lysogenic cycle, the viral DNA integrates into the host DNA and remains dormant until it enters the lytic cycle. Viruses come in different shapes like helical and complex structures. Did you know your body is home to trillions of microorganisms? This is your normal microbiota, which includes resident microbiota or long-term residents and transient microbiota or short-term visitors. These microorganisms protect you by competing with pathogens and producing antimicrobial substances and training your immune system to recognize and fight harmful invaders. Pathogens can spread through direct contact, indirect contact, and airborne transmission, foodborne transmission, waterborne transmission, and vector transmission. To prevent disease, we can get vaccinated, practice good personal hygiene, ensure food safety, treat water properly, control disease vectors like mosquitoes. Microorganisms are incredibly useful. They are used in food production like fermentation for bread and yogurt, agriculture, nutrient cycling, and biopesticides in medicine as, for example, antibiotics and vaccines, environmental cleanup or bioremediation, and industry or enzyme production. So they are very important. To control microorganisms, we use methods like sterilization, completely destroying all microbes, disinfection, removing or killing pathogens, antiseptics, killing microbes or on living tissues, sanitization, reducing microbial contamination. Physical methods include heat or pasteurization, boiling, radiation, UV, ionizing, and filtration. To study bacteria, we need to isolate them. Techniques like include serial dilution, which reduces the number of microbes in a sample, and strict place method, spreading a sample on a culture medium to grow individual colonies. Here we have another topic, which is renowned microbiologists in Ethiopia. Ethiopian microbiologists have made a significant contribution in disease control, biotechnology, and environmental microbiology, helping us better understand and harness the power of microorganisms. And that's a wrap on Unit 2 Microorganisms. These tiny organisms are truly fascinating and essential to life on Earth. If you enjoyed this video, don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit the bell icon for more science content. Let me know in the comments which microorganism you find most interesting. Bacteria, fungi, or maybe viruses. Thanks for watching, and I will see you in the next video.